Okay. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? First, let me get something out the way. So I originally done my PowerPoint. I used Screencast-O-Matic to record my PowerPoint. I went to upload my PowerPoint onto YouTube, and it took hours and hours and hours to upload. So it will not upload using my Screencast-O-Matic. What I did use is Screencast-O-Matic. So I had to do it the old school way. So I'm actually, I have a prop. I have my phone sitting up on the prop, and I have my laptop on my kitchen counter. I'm hoping that this will work, I'm hoping that this will work. So you all just forgive me, and I hope that you all will enjoy my presentation. I was assigned ERIK ERIKSON. He is known for his theory on the psychological development of human beings. Erikson was born on June the 15th in 1902 in Frankfurt, Germany. His mother is Carla Abrahamson. The identity of his father has never been made clear, so he was adopted by his stepfather. He was married to Joanne Serson, a dancer and an artist in 1930, who helped him to develop his psychosocial developmental theory. And they did have 3 children, one by the name of Kay, John, and Sue. His 3 children is who contributed to his thinking about the epigenetic schema of development. And right over here, I included a picture of him and his wife. Erikson's education: he studied child development at the Vienna Psychoanalytic Institute through the Montessori method, which focused on psychosexual and developmental stages. Erikson received a diploma from the institute. He never received a formal degree. His knowledge was based upon his experiences and extensive reading. Career as an educational psychologist. He worked at Yale's Institute of Human Relations and as a professor at the Yale School of Medicine from 1936 to 1939. He relocated to California, where he worked with the Institute of Child Welfare. He served on the faculty of University of California at Berkeley and San Francisco from 1939 to 1951. He returned to Massachusetts, where he continued to focus his attention on emotionally challenged youth at the Austin Riggs Center from 1951 to 1994. And he finished his professional career with a final stint as professor of human development at Harvard. Why is it important for teachers to become familiar with this work? Well, that's a really good question. Teachers can take what is in ERIK ERIKSON's theory and use it in the classroom to produce positive outcomes in a student's life. Teaching the theory at different levels is important to ensure that students will attain mastery of each stage in ERIKSON's theory without a conflict. Erikson was influenced by Sigmund Freud's work. There was a lot of pioneers that influenced him. I was unaware if I needed to list all of them or just a few, so I did list Sigmund Freud's work. Erikson's theory was impacted by a psychoanalyst named Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud was the founder of psychoanalysis and the psychodynamic approach to psychology. Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytic theory of personality argues that a human's behavior is the result of the interaction among 3 component parts of the mind: the id, the ego, and the superego. And I actually added a picture of Mr. Sigmund Freud. Another person that had an influence on Erikson was Anna Freud. He completed a training analysis with her in the development of a small children's school in Vienna, and that also led to an immersion in the theoretical seminars and in clinical work. Erikson maintained that personality develops in a predetermined order through 8 stages of psychosocial development from infancy to adulthood. Erikson's stages of psychosocial development. He had 8 stages, and I want to go list the 8 stages for you all. The first stage is trust versus mistrust. The virtue is hope, and the age is 0 to 1.5 years old. The second stage is autonomy versus shame. The virtue is will, and the age is 1.5 years old to 3 years old. The third the third stage is initiative versus guilt. The virtue is purpose. The age is 3 to 5 years old. The fourth stage is industry versus inferiority. The virtue is competency. The age is 5 to 12 years old. The fifth stage is identity versus role confusion. The virtue is fidelity. The age is 12 through 18 years old. The sixth stage is intimacy versus isolation. The virtue is love, and the age is 18 to 40 years old. The seventh stage is generativity versus stagnation. The virtue is care, and it ranges from 40 to 65 years old. The eighth stage is ego integrity versus despair, and the virtue is wisdom, and its age is 65 years old and older. And I'll just take a moment to let you all just kind of look, and just in case if I read them too fast for you. Erikson's theory of psychosocial and personality development. He said the life is a series of stages from birth to death. He said that one must meet challenges of each stage. He said that how you meet the challenges affects personality development. Development is a lifelong process rather than coming to completion at puberty. Erikson died because of an infection in his body. He died on May the 12th in 1994. He died at a nursing home called Rosewood Manor in Harwich, Massachusetts. There was also a few things that I did not add in the PowerPoint that I did want to go ahead and talk about. Erikson left some advice to educators. And the piece of advice that he left, or the statement of advice that he left to all educators, I think is very important. I think it needs to be shared to new teachers, old teachers. And it's just something that I think that should always be reminded, that all teachers should be reminded of. He said for us, I'm going to repeat it word from word. He said, do not mistake a child for his symptom. And that statement alone was so powerful to me. And I'll repeat it again. He said, do not mistake a child for his symptom. And I don't know why, but that statement just really stuck out to me. It's something that I think new teachers that's teaching now should still be reminded of every single day. Because oftentimes we count students out, we count people out because of a diagnosis, but we have to look beyond that. And again, he said, do not mistake a child for his symptom. Erikson is known for coining the phrase of identity crisis. He adopted his last name. So Erikson is not a name that he was born with. That last name was actually one that he adopted because he struggled with his identity. And because he struggled with his identity, that is why he was able to say that the environment played a role in self-awareness, adjustment, human development, and identity. He was also the first male to practice child psychoanalyst in the Boston area. Here is a bibliography of where I actually got my information from. I hope that you all will enjoy it. I hope it is something that, I hope that you all found something interesting in my presentation. Again, I apologize for it not being screencast-o-matic. But I do thank you all for your patience, and I pray that you all have a great day.